for
Personally?
everybody who gets involved. It's zero sum. It's crazy. And then in some ways,
Because everyone hates you and associates
it,
you with Trump? Like how is it toxic for you personally?
it's toxic because it's in a zero sum world. The stakes in it feel really really high, and
And you end up
it's
having enemies you didn't have before? Yeah.
it's toxic for all the people who get involved in different
Right.
ways. There is a political dimension of getting back to the future. You can't, I don't know. This is a conversation I had with Elon back in 2024, and we had all these conversations. I had the seasteading version with Elon where I said, if Trump doesn't win, I want to just leave the country. And then Elon said, "There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. This is the only place." And then you always think of the right arguments to make later. And it was about 2 hours after we had dinner and I was home that I thought of, wow, Elon, you don't believe in going to Mars anymore. 2024 is the year where Elon stopped believing in Mars, not as a silly science tech project, but as a political project. Mars was supposed to be a political project. It was building an alternative. And in 2024, Elon came to believe that if you went to Mars, the socialist US government, the woke AI, it would follow you to Mars. It was the Demis meeting with Elon that we sort of brokered. He was doing DeepMind.
This is an AI company.
Yeah, this was the rough conversation was, Demis tells Elon, "I'm working on the most important project in the world. I'm building a superhuman AI." And Elon responds to Demis, "Well, I'm working on the most important project in the world. I am turning us into interplanetary species." And then Demis said, "Well, my AI will be able to follow you to Mars." And then Elon sort of went quiet. But in my telling of the history, it took years for that to really hit Elon. It took him till 2024 to process it.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't believe in Mars.
Okay. This is a video I guess I've kind of wanted to make it for a while, but I felt like there was a lot of things I was trying to gain more vocal clarity about. Like I was trying to find the words to explain the concept. But I feel like I've kind of found the words, and I have a couple other references. Like, that's the cool thing about an idea. And I do want to put this out there because I know there's got to be like at least some one or two, up and coming Black YouTubers who are following me, Black female YouTubers. If you're a Black gay male, there's some things you could get from this channel to know I exist, and I probably exist in a lane that is completely opposed to your very existence. So maybe like knowing that that is real is like useful, but otherwise like you're not going to gain anything from this. The other thing, I think there's this weird thing where people think like detractors or some sort of like adversity is going to like change my worldview. It's not. What it might do is like help me understand someone else's perspective. Typically that doesn't change my motives or my intent, if that makes sense. Like my motives and intent are written in blood almost. Like it's not gonna change. Like, so here's the point. And I feel like I've been saying this in a few ways, but I'll also post the clip. Hopefully I'll put it in the beginning of this video. So you just saw that clip. And the point here is like, we have reached the end of an era. Now, there's a whole essay that I wrote, and I don't know if I'm going to share it. Maybe I will, because I think it's useful for me to look back at these things and remember, how I felt on that particular day. But the civil rights era, when people love talking about the work, right? The work that some people did. Oh, these people did this work, and those people did that work, and all this work. And then people love to talk about like the immigrants, right, who built these great inventions. They built the Costco and they built the this and they built the that. And then you go back for a minute and you realize, wait a minute, they built this in America. The reason that America is so different than anywhere else, and the reason that they couldn't build that in the other place, is because of all the work that has been done here. That's why. If they could do it in India, they'd be doing it in India. Like if Google's so great, and the Indian founders or whoever the immigrants are who are so great, they should take Google and put it back where it was. For real. Like, and it's wild. I didn't think I was going to hear Donald Trump say that. But when I heard him say that, he basically spoke at the AI conference and he was like, okay, so all the great, tech companies or whatever who are, the great American tech companies. This is what he called them. He said, you need to be here to make America great. I don't even like America, and I agree with him. And it's very strange because from these same immigrants, I hear this. This is like the talking point of Silicon Valley. Immigrants have made everything, and immigrants have made everything great. No, what immigrants have done is used visas to come and get like really Ivy League education that they could not get elsewhere, that they would not have or have any access to were it not for the slaves who built the campuses and the Black Americans who fought for their civil rights to even be able to attend the university. And all that took like 400 fucking years. So you didn't really come and then build on top of nothing. Because if that was the case, you would have just done this shit where you were. That's what's different. Because I couldn't figure that out for a very long time. Even though, like, I kept hearing, like, the Black American side where they're like, no, we, like, really fought for civil rights. And then you, like, go back and you, like, actually understand what civil rights are. And then you start to see, like, how white people and Jewish people react when you start treating them the same way that they treat Black people. They're like, oh, my God, I want $21 million, distress, blah, 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 racism. Y'all have been doing this to Black people in this country for a while. That isn't the point. Because, like, it's not like now that we have the internet. We've always had the internet. Well, not always, but it's been around for a while. But I think that specifically Black people in Africa, Africa is the continent for Black people. So anyone else who is there who feels like, oh, like we're not actually Black, like the North Africans, I think that they should separate and make their own continent that has nothing to do with Black Africans. I am proposing that. I hope somebody builds it. So there we go. So now we can talk about whatever Arabs there are and where they at, put them somewhere else. We're specifically talking about Black Africans in Africa, okay? So why we have things called like Afro pop, Afro tech, Afro this, Afro that is for Black people, okay? Like, and now here's the point though. I continue to wonder why at every stage of the conversation around race, like at this point, we don't actually have to include Black people in the conversation because when y'all are talking about race, y'all actually are not talking about Black people anymore. Like Black people even the ones in America, Black society and culture is specifically that. Like everything, all the blogs and shit around Rihanna and Beyonce and the Cowboy Carter tour and every single thing happening in Black America really doesn't have anything to do with any other group. Like you could isolate that particular community from all the other shit happening in America and nothing would change. Cause it's like not dependent on anyone else. Yet it does feel like in this very strange way that the other side couldn't be true. Like you remove the Black Americans from the America story, all of a sudden, wait a minute, like nobody knows what to do because now you can't write the think pieces about like Sexy Red being like female trash because there ain't no Sexy Red. You can't talk about how Cardi B is like I don't know, infiltrating the pop culture of American society because there ain't no Cardi B. So now all you can talk about is like white girls cosplaying as ghetto culture, right? That isn't the point either. The point of this video is to explain a concept, which is like the end of integration forever. Now, I've seen this like happening in Africa in a couple different reasons. Like I think it was Nigeria that completely banned white models. Like it is illegal to use white models now in Nigeria. Senegal has literally banned all European weaves and like it's like a country law. So like now African Black women are being forced by law to be Black. That's it. Like you can no longer cosplay as European. And very soon there will probably be like travel restrictions. Like you can't travel here unless you are Black. You can't do like just all of the same racism that has been in place in like the Western hemisphere is probably going to travel to the Eastern hemisphere. And so like, what does that mean? Because I think that this like one-sided narrative of like, oh yeah, we were wrong because we did this. We were wrong because we said that. Oh man, like we're so sorry. The sorries are over. Like nobody cares really if you're sorry or not. Like that's not the point at all. We are so far past sorry. This is actually more about a future. And this is the point. Like this is the end of the road. The integration attempt failed, and that's it. There's like, I think that there was this idea that Black people forever were going to be this indentured underclass of people. And then a lot of Black Americans were like, actually, I'm good. I'm willing to turn in the American card. You can have all that shit back. And then a lot of those Black Americans have gone to Africa. That is the solution. Not in a meta way, not in a nothing. I don't think it is useful to build things in some attempt to have it be here, in some attempt to have it anything. I really feel like you should switch your entire narrative onto yourself and start building for your future. That's what I've been doing my whole life. Like my whole life. It was not, some people seem to be confused about this idea that like I was the Black one. Like I was like, oh my God, she doesn't know. No, I know. I promise you I know. I promise I've always known. I wasn't confused. It was very confusing though to understand that like there's many, many, many Black ones. Like there's 54 countries in Africa, not like one. And Africa's a continent. Like in the same way that America's like a continent. And how there's like the 54 states. And like I've been explaining the differences between like California and Nashville. Imagine the fucking differences between Ethiopia and Nigeria. They're like really, really different. Not really similar. You could say like, okay, yeah, both women from those two countries are both Black. You could kind of say that. But culturally, ethnically, religiously, in terms of food preferences, they're very, very, very different. So fucking different. So different. So like why is it that like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel are talking about that? But why does everybody care about that? I don't even know. I don't know. Because we've been living in a pseudo segregated society for the whole time that we've been here. So I'm kind of, well, I think it's maybe because of the economic base. Like Black women, specifically poor Black women, spend a lot of money. They spend so much money. Like just they buy things to try to be white. Like the whole economy in America of trying to force Black women to be white in all the ways, like bleach your skin, straighten your hair, be like everything that is buyable, right? The whole Sephora store, the whole Target, the entire Walmart is to try to just make you buy something so that you can like be like, you won't ever be less yourself. You're still going to be you, but you could like buy something to put money in somebody else's pocket. What if you just stopped doing that for a minute and just sat in your Blackness, just sat in it? Oh, well, this is what I am. What if you just did that? Because you just realized like, oh, fuck, at the end of the day, I'm still Olivia. Well, there's nothing to buy at that point. Maybe some coffee that is legitimately from Ethiopia. You decide. But you could also just go to Ethiopia and get the coffee yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when that happens, though, Americans no longer make any money. That transaction, right? That $3 that I gave to Starbucks and is going to that CEO in Washington. Well, now it's going to go to that small farmer in Ethiopia and it won't be here. And I have a cup of coffee every day. It's a lot of money. Just so you know. So, yeah, I guess you could just like choose what you want to do with the money. Everybody just gets to choose what they all want to do with the money. It's a lot of money though. And the sad part is like you would think there would be like a few more Black female bloggers who are just talking about fucking anything. There's got to be more than like me, Issa Rae, Kelly Stamps, who are talking about fucking something. There's so many girls, but you know what they're talking about? They're talking about Mary Jane Scammon. They're talking about Jada Wada. I don't even, like, this is crazy. It's wild. It's insane, actually. I don't know. But this is the end. It's the end of an era. And I feel like America had a good run. It was a good try. And here's the other thing. And we're going to talk about this today too. I'm finally going to make a video about it. But the end of the welfare queen. It's like the welfare queen and the hobosexual seem to... I never understood that ecosystem. And then I saw 3 videos yesterday that made it plain. And it was just like, oh my God. Those are the answers I have been looking for. That's crazy. Yeah. Hello, my name is Olivia. Welcome to my channel. I like to sit around at coffee shops or at the beach and talk shit. I talk about women's issues, feminism, relationships, but mostly being a Black woman in America and how to survive that. Politically, I'm moderate, even though that seems hard for people to believe. I'm very conservative on issues like immigration, very liberal on other issues like feminism and abortion. Thanks for being here.